It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da, 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 da.
Hello there. It's your boy DC in the flesh. It's pretty obvious I'm filming this on a football Sunday right now, but it's okay because my Bengals don't play till tonight on Sunday Night Football against the Ravens. Who day, by the way. I should probably take these shades off so you guys can see my eyes. And oh my god, I just realized I'm gonna have to look into the camera for the first time. That's pretty weird. Normally just talking to a mic. I guess I'll take the hat off too, show off my hair for a little bit. Did just get a fresh cut, but I do love wearing hats most of the time, so I'm just gonna throw it back on. Plus, I don't want to break up the bad mojo for the game, you know. But that's enough about the football game. Let's move on to what you came for, which is the Q&A. And first of all, obligatory thank you for 1,000 subs. I was just thinking how my high school graduating class was like 700 people, and just imagining standing up and like talking in front of all those people. But then you add 300 more of you guys, and that would be equivalent to my sub count, which is just crazy. So thank you for that. I think we got about like 20 non-music related or YouTube related questions. So I'm going to go through those first. And then I think we got about like 44 like music or YouTube related questions. So I'll go through that in part 2. And I think I'm just going to like timestamp it in the description. So if you want to like go to each section. But yeah, I don't want this video to last forever. So I'm going to try not to take too long answering these. But yeah, let's just get started with the first question by Mr. Ghostly. Ooh, I wonder who that is. And he asks, why? This question is deep, man. I'm gonna have to say, why not? Moving on. Number 2 here by Cool Guy Wannabe. Congrats, bro. Yeah, thanks. About time. If you had a pet rock, what would its name be? I mean, when I saw this question, I immediately thought about Rocky from SpongeBob. So yeah, if I had a pet rock, it's gonna have to be Rocky. I know it's kind of cliche, kind of copying SpongeBob, but yeah, it's the best rock name, man. Number 3, what is the best way to bury a body? Ooh, okay, so yeah, I think that's the best way. Next up, we got, what's the strangest thing you've ever watched? Strange, you know, when you say strange, I immediately think of like scary. I'm gonna have to go to the scary category, and I'll just tell you right now, the scariest horror movie I've ever seen is Hereditary, by far. For some people, it could be a very slow burn, but like it's like psychological terror, and it really messed me up for a while. But I would highly recommend for sure. Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul or El Camino? Ooh, Breaking Bad is by far the best TV show I've ever watched, and I don't even really watch TV shows, so you can trust me on that. I know a lot of people say that, but it is for real the best TV show ever. Better Call Saul is honestly its equivalent. It is fantastic, but please do not spoil it in the comments, because as of right now, I have not watched the final season because I don't get it on Netflix until January, so I've been patiently waiting, so I cannot wait to finish it. And then El Camino, it's not bad, it's just not on the same level as those two. It does give good closure for Jesse after Breaking Bad's finale, but it's just not on the same level. Next up, favorite movie franchise, and have you watched the new Andor? I'm loving it. Yeah, I am loving the new Andor, dude. It's probably the best thing Disney has made in the Star Wars franchise since either The Mandalorian or Rogue One. So the Star Wars sequels are trash. I know a lot of people hate on them, and I'm one of those people. But favorite movie franchise, now before like the past 2 years, I would have to say Marvel, like the MCU in general, because phases 1 through 3 were just perfect, but phase 4 has been really bad. So I would have to say Marvel phase 1 through 3. Other than that, I mean, Star Wars, like the original 6 films, I'm not counting ever since Disney bought the franchise. Also, Harry Potter's pretty good, but the books are probably better. So yeah, I'm just going to go with MCU phase 1 through 3. Next up, would you take Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes to start a franchise? I probably should have started with this question since it's Football Sunday, but this is so hard because they're both phenomenal quarterbacks. I probably like Josh Allen more, but I can't deny how good Patrick Mahomes has been in his first 4 or 5 years in the league. So with everything he's accomplished, I'd have to say Patrick Mahomes. But you know me, Joe Burrow, franchise number 1. Let's go. Next up, what's your favorite food? This is probably a pretty basic answer, but it's pizza. I have a lot of good pizza places, like local pizza places where I live, so that's always nice. And honestly, you can eat pizza any time of day. It never really gets old for me. So yeah, I'm going to have to say pizza. Tacos are a close second, though, like Mexican food in general. And then what's your favorite pizza topping? This is also probably a basic answer, but pepperoni. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. And then moving on, pineapple on pizza. It's good, bro. I don't know. I don't get the people who don't like pineapple on pizza. I mean, I do get it because I am kind of picky myself. But honestly, Hawaiian pizza, ham and pineapple was really good. Your friend puts ketchup on his pizza. Are you going to let it slide or nah? Would I let it slide? Yeah, if they're into ketchup, I guess I'd let it slide, but don't expect me to try it. That's what I'll say. And then another question. Oh, okay, this is kind of music related, but what's your favorite double single on Monstercat? The first one that came to mind was like Steven, his Play Me Like a Violin and Stay, just because in a recent video I've said that like Stay, I rediscovered it and it's growing on me, and I always like Play Me Like a Violin. But another one, you know what? I'll probably make a video on this eventually. This is one of my video ideas, so you'll have to find out then. Next up, would you blend a day old Subway sandwich and drink it? Hell nah, man. Well, maybe it depends on what type of sandwich. Nah, probably not though. That just sounds nasty. Favorite dessert and favorite dinner? So favorite dessert is a pretty easy one. I have this fantastic local ice cream place near me called Graders. If you're like around the Cincinnati, like Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky area, you might know about it. It's the best ice cream in the world, in my opinion. Not biased at all. Like for real, I think it's the only like handmade ice cream left in the U.S. And my favorite flavor would have to be black raspberry chip. If you can get your hands on that, definitely try it. It's fantastic. Favorite dinner. Now I said pizza was my favorite food. Favorite dinner though, I guess I'll go with my second place, like Mexican food. I like going to like local Mexican places, you know, chimichangas, arroz con carne, polo loco, stuff like that. I don't know. I like to switch it up, but that's what comes to mind right now. Next question: mayo, yes or no? I'm gonna say yes, but mainly only on like spicy chicken sandwich or chicken sandwich or burgers. That's pretty much the only times I eat mayo, or a Philly cheesesteak. But speaking of burgers, next question is, you like burger and what kind? I'd have to say like a good old cheeseburger from Five Guys. Five Guys is the best burger place, and you cannot change my mind. Next up, do you still play Rocket League? If so, then what rank are you? Oh yeah, dude, I play Rocket League all the time still. But unfortunately, me and my friend have been stuck in like Champ 1 and 2 and 2s for like the past like 2 years. Yeah, so that's pretty annoying. But I have hit Grand Champ in Rumble. So that's, I mean, take that with what you will, or whatever the saying is, you know. And then like threes, I'm probably like Champ 3. I haven't hit Grand Champ in like a normal playlist yet. That's the goal for sure. Next, I have 2 hours in Rocket League and I'm already Supersonic Platinum. Is that good? If you think it is, go for it, man. Too bad the rank doesn't exist though. Yeah, so no comment on that one, honestly. What's your least favorite video game you've ever played? Least favorite? Okay, I'll just go with like recently. Like when I tried a new game, like Rainbow Six Siege. No offense to the Rainbow Six Siege fans out there, but I did not really like it. I'm used to the fast-paced nature of Apex Legends, and so I didn't really like that game. Next up, are you going to be streaming games such as Rocket League and Fall Guys anytime soon? When? Yeah, I do have plans to. I mean, I haven't streamed on Twitch in probably like a year. I only did like a couple times. The thing is, like, I play on an Xbox in my basement on a big TV, so like I don't really have any place for like a camera, and like the mic quality's not the best. But I have been like planning to buy like a gaming PC or just like a better PC in general that I can stream on, you know, because I'm using my old like 2015 Mac and it's extremely slow. So I definitely want to upgrade my computer in the future. But then again, I might just like stream Rocket League, Fall Guys, Apex, stuff like that on my Xbox sometime. Maybe get like a Fall Guys community game going, you know. I don't know if I want to stream on Twitch because like I heard like Twitch is going down the drain, you know. So if I can like, I don't know what the rules are for streaming on YouTube and stuff. I'll just say it's in the works. I have plans, but I don't know about yet because, you know, might be busy since I just started a new job and stuff. But we'll see how it goes. I think that is it for all the random questions. So we're going to move on to the more like music related questions. So I was wondering, how did your relationship with Rocket League play into your love of Monstercat? Was it a coincidence or did you find one because of the other? Yeah, I'll be straight up. I would have no idea what Monstercat is without Rocket League. The only reason I know is because I started playing Rocket League more and more, and I liked the music in it. So I eventually looked up what Monstercat was outside of the game, and here we are now. So I'd say it worked out. Next up, I'll just ask, what sort of music did you grow up listening to, and what was the song on Rocket League that led you to discover Monstercat? Also, what year would you say is your favorite year for music in terms of in-cat releases and in general? So speaking of Rocket League, I think I've said this before, but it's okay if you don't know. Castaway by Grant is definitely the song that led me to search Monstercat out of Rocket League because it was my favorite song in the game. And honestly, it might still be my favorite song in the game. That could be a lot of nostalgia, but it still holds up today. I do love that song. What sort of music did I grow up listening to? I feel like we all probably just grow up listening to the music our parents or like our siblings like at first, you know? And for me, for the longest time, it was country music. Like my dad would always play country music like on his old CDs in the car and stuff like that. And then what year was your favorite year for music? I mean, I think I've said this, but like 2019 Monstercat was pretty good. What was the ranker or who was the ranker that got you into rankings in the first place? I'm going to say it's a combination of Red Hawk and Hoxie. They both have Hawk in the name. Coincidence? I think not. But yeah, I just started. I don't know. I don't know if I probably did like actually search for it. Like once I got into Monstercat, I probably looked up like, oh, new Monstercat releases. And they were doing the monthly releases thing back then. So that's who got me into it. And you know, I do that today. So I would say those two are probably my inspirations. Oh, what got you into ranking music? So aside from Hoxie and Red Hawk, I would say just boredom in quarantine, literally like the first month of COVID, March 2020. Wanted to do a new hobby since, you know, we were all inside. And yeah. All right, this one has like 5 questions in one. And scrolling through this, I think I've already answered all of them except for 2. So I'll go with why are you so cool? I mean, you can decide that. I don't care. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite Monstercat song, or one you can think of? You know, I'll go with like an easy one. You know, "So Good" by Good Times Ahead last year was my least favorite song of the year. That's a pretty easy choice for me, I guess. Next up, who's your favorite music reviewer as of now? It doesn't have to be just EDM related. And then, will there be a sequel to ranking your least favorite songs of all time? So, number 1, favorite music reviewer. I mean, could shout out Bowtied Media. He's pretty cool. But also like a much bigger YouTuber, I would say The Needle Drop, you know, Anthony Fontano. But yeah, I would say Bowtied and The Needle Drop. And then will there be a sequel to ranking your least favorite songs of all time? So I don't think I've ever actually made like my least favorite songs list. I think what you're thinking of is when I did the submissions video of your guys' least favorite songs. Will there be a sequel to that? I don't know. That was a lot. That was like a lot of work to make that video. And it took a while. So I don't really know if I want to do that again. But I might, and then least favorite song, like my least favorite songs of all time, I might make a video. We'll see one day. Next up, who's your favorite artist and label outside of Monstercat? This might be disappointing to some people, but I don't follow any other labels at all. I just don't have the time. I am perfectly content with just like listening to my giant playlist of like Monstercat and other EDM that I've found from you guys and some other random ones I've found over the years or like remember. So I'm sorry I can't recommend another label. In terms of artists though, outside of the label, I would definitely say Madion. As big as he is, his music's fantastic, so he's definitely deserved his fame, and it's right up my alley. I love his melodic stuff, so Madion. Next question, when did you start actively following MC? I would say kind of late 2019 when I started listening to songs outside of Rocket League. And then is it okay to give submissions of Monstercat songs before that time? Submissions didn't exist before then, so that's not really applicable. And then boobies or booties? Do you remember the first Monstercat song you heard? So as sad as this is to admit, I think it was Alone by Marshmello. And even more sad is how I heard it, and it was the Marshmello concert in Fortnite. I think it was February of like 2019, and that was before I really started to play Rocket League. So yeah, I think it was Alone by Marshmello. But the first Rocket League song I heard, the intro song when I downloaded the game was Badlands by Rogue. Sorry if you already had it in video. What is your number 1 Monstercat song of all time? You will have to watch the top 150 songs of all time video. I got a link to it, like right here. So yeah, I don't really want to spoil it for those who haven't seen that video. But I will say I normally make like one video a year of doing like top 100 songs. So it might be different this year. And that'll probably be in January of 2023 when I make the next one. So yeah. Ever since you got into EDM, do you think you've started becoming more critical of songs? I feel like this is happening to me now. Yeah, dude. I feel like, because like when I have to listen to new songs that I know I'm going to rank, I try to like analyze it so I can come up with like good reasonings of what I like or don't like about it. But once like I'm done ranking them and I just like choose to put them in my place and listen, then I just let all those criticisms go and I just enjoy listening to the song. So yeah, don't let it get to you. What are your thoughts on Yeezus? You know, I'm not going to lie. When I first heard that name, I immediately thought of Kanye West, but I did have to look it up. It looks like one of his albums, and to no surprise, I've never heard that album, so I don't have an opinion on it. Sorry. What are your thoughts on Laszlo's releases outside of Monstercat? So I've been meaning to do this for a while. I've been meaning to like listen to a lot of Monstercat artists' songs that are on the label, but I just haven't had the time. And Laszlo is definitely one of those artists, and I've heard a few of his songs outside the label, like My Way, and they're pretty good, but nothing beats his Liftoff LP for me. Next up, as many songs as Jewel has made, would you consider making a Deadmau 5? Oh my god, I don't even know if people call him Dead Mouse or Deadmau 5. I've always thought of calling him Deadmau 5. That's kind of embarrassing. Would I make a Dead Mouse discography ranking video? I don't think so. It's kind of like Pegboard Nerds. Like their discographies are so huge, like it would take forever to just make a single video on it, which is why I would probably split it up between like the different albums or EPs they've made. So I would say no, but I might rank a album or two from Dead Mouse sometime. Next up, we got a lot of questions here. So number one, Grizzpog? Yes, Grizz is very pog. Number two, thoughts on new Tony Romero stuff. Tired is an absolute bop. I'll have to check it out. I have not listened to any Tony Romero since his Introspection LP last year. If you are 21, what is your drinks of choice? I'm actually 22 now, and I don't really drink that much. Out of the ones I've tried though, I would have to say like frozen margarita, pina colada. Like I said earlier, I do like Mexican a lot. Yeah, I don't really like any beer though, so I would have to say like fancier drinks, I guess. But like I said, I don't really drink. Is there any particular style of hip hop or rap that you enjoy? I know the most part you're not a fan. Yeah, I don't really listen to rap or hip hop at all unless it's like in a movie or commercial or like a family or friend puts it on or stuff like that. There are a few songs I like, but it's not like I would add them to my playlist really. So I can't really name them off the top of my head. I'd have to like do a deep dive into figuring out which ones I actually like. So yeah. Stupid question probably, but why don't you like heavy dubstep? Asking this because you put a lot of deathstep / tarot at the bottom of your monthly ranking vids. So there's probably a few reasons. Number one, I prefer melodic music, of course. That's normally my go-to style to listen to. But when it comes to like heavier music, there's got to be something to make it like stand out and be like really enjoyable and headbanger worthy, something I can get behind. And every time I listen to deathstep and tear out, no offense, but I find them all to sound pretty similar, and it's not in a good way. Like it's pretty hard to listen to for me. It's just really abrasive and not enjoyable on the ears. So yeah. Next up, do you get annoyed by hearing bong bong sound? If it's overbearing in a hardstyle song, I definitely get annoyed. That's why I make edits doing like bong bong bong, because like that's all I hear when the drop happens in a hardstyle song sometimes. If the song's good, I can look past it, but if it's not, that's like what I'm going to focus on, and yes, it does annoy me. Next up, which subgenre is better, house or trance? I'm definitely a house guy. You got a bunch of different styles of house. You got like electro house, progressive house, deep house, future house, stuff like that. And it can be listened to in most settings, I would say, like party settings, just chilling, driving settings. As far as trance goes, I kind of have to be in a specific mindset to really enjoy it, because it's got a certain feel and nature to it. What hobbies do you have other than music? So, it's funny, I had to say this in a job interview, so I think I have a good idea. Number one, diehard Bengals and Reds fan, so I love watching sports, playing sports. Pickleball recently has been really fun with my brother. It's kind of like in between ping pong and tennis if you've never heard of it. So that's pretty fun. I like watching movies and YouTube, obviously, and video games, stuff like that. Next up. Okay, we got a lot here. Do you have any plans, ideas to make your submissions be open longer or make certain strategies work more effectively, like adding an extra 10 submissions or making people submit only 4 times a year? I've tried a lot of different things, but I can't please everybody. And for my personal well-being, I like just ranking 30 a month. I think that's a good number. And then every other month, I know a lot of people try to get in, and there's always going to be new people that want to be a part of it. But like, I'm sorry, I've tried to make it as fair as I can, and I don't want to make any more songs. But like I said in a comment, this December will be different, so look out for that. What is your opinion on old school rhythm? I don't really have an opinion right now because I can't even picture what old school rhythm even is. I've probably heard it in some submissions and stuff like that. I've probably ranked it low, so my gut feeling is I probably don't like it. Next up, have you ever considered ranking removed Monstercat songs? I'm pretty sure you're talking probably about like Tristram or Riot or even Aerocord. I don't know. I guess if you can count Riot, then I've ranked their album. And I think I've ranked some Tristram songs, but I don't know. Do you have any Monstercat merch? I do, actually. I'm going to go grab it real quick. So I've got a nice white Monstercat hoodie right here. Pretty nice, especially since it's October in Ohio now. It's going to be getting chilly. Probably start wearing this more. Just recently, like within the past few weeks, I ordered this really nice windbreaker. And it like is very reflective at night. So like this whole part turns white. It's gray right now on camera, but it's like really bright white when it gets shine on. And then I also have a T-shirt, but that's in the wash right now. And then I also just got this sweet Monstercat hat with the windbreaker I just bought. So yeah. Next up, do you ever listen to spinning records? Nah. Have you ever heard of Happy Tree Friends? If so, what is your opinion on it? I have, like, years ago, and I'll just say it's violent. How does it feel to get 1,000 subscribers? Yeah, it feels pretty good, man. Thanks. 2 questions. Any music genres you feel need more appreciation? I mean, like right now, my favorite genre is probably electro house. I don't even know how much appreciation it gets, but it could always use more. So I'll say electro house. And then opinion on pickles. So I do like pickles, but surprisingly, I don't like them on my burgers because I feel like the taste is kind of just overpowering there. Next up, and there's a few questions like this. Have you ever thought of becoming a musician yourself? I mean, a little bit. I can play the trumpet, but I haven't really played it consistently in years, so I'm probably not that good. Have I thought of like producing music using like Ableton and stuff like that? I have a little bit. I don't know if I ever will though. I mean, we'll see. Next question that kind of ties into that. If you ever would you ever consider making music of your own sometime? And then if I ever decided to, what kind of music stylistically would you want it to sound like? Oh my god. I would want it to be unique, but I feel like it's really hard to like just burst onto this scene with your own sound if you've never like done it before. And I would probably look for inspiration over my favorite artists. So, I'd probably look at like, I don't know, Daft Punk, Madeon, Bad Computer, Grant, people like that. Maybe like blend them together, but I have no idea. Next, do you think music promotion has gotten easier or harder for broke people? So, in terms of promotion, I feel like it's definitely gotten harder. There's so many ads these days, and like, there's so many people these days that it's probably hard to get your stuff out there. But in terms of like making music, it's definitely gotten easier because all you really need is like a computer or a laptop and the right software, and you just play around with that and you can make good music. I did just think though, like SoundCloud, you can probably just put your stuff out there, and if it blows up, it blows up. But I don't know how hard it is to get something like that to blow up on SoundCloud. But yeah, what's your address? Just kidding. Do you think more labels should shift to becoming more copyright free / creator friendly? I mean, I definitely think so, and not just because I'm a creator on YouTube. I mean, I feel like literally everything can be copyrighted these days. Like, there's way too many ads, so it would be really nice if they could cut down the ads and copyright for everyone. That would be great. Got a couple questions that are similar here. It's basically, who in the EDM industry do you think needs more attention? Who's underrated? So I would have to say Malibu, especially since his 2 songs on Monstercat this year have been in my favorite genre, Electro House, and they've been really, really good. So I hope he can blow up a bit, get more attention, come out with new songs. That would be a win for everyone, in my opinion. Next up, are there any songs, albums, artists, bands that you haven't known for very long, but can already see becoming one of your favorites of all time? Oh man, I mean, I don't want to be like a broken record here, but I really have loved Malibu this year. Even though he's only had 2 songs, I can just already see them being classics. It's kind of like a Bad Computer situation. Ever since I heard him, he's just been getting better and better. So I would have to say, yeah, I'll just go with Malibu again. He's just taking dubs left and right. Next up, what are your favorite non-EDM artists? This is tough. So if we can go with like older bands or artists and stuff like that, I would say top 3 are probably like Michael Jackson, Queen, and I don't even know, like Guns N' Roses, stuff like that. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Why or why not? I did just have some hot dogs last night on the fire, so this is fresh in my mind. I'm going to say yes, because, you got your bread, you got your meat, and you got your condiments. So I'm going to say it is a sandwich. What videos do you have planned? I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I have a bunch of video ideas that I always write down. Sometimes it takes like months to get to them. Sometimes it's just like out of the blue, like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me just go make that video real quick. But I'm not going to spoil anything. Are you planning on making music? Oh, I already answered this earlier. So yeah, probably not anytime soon at least. What is your least favorite EDM label? I don't really follow any other labels, like I said. But like out of the songs coming from labels that I know, like in my submissions especially, I've heard Subsidia is really bad. I watched Stanley's video, so Subsidia is probably the worst. So I'm just gonna jump on the bandwagon and say Subsidia. Will you rank songs on any other labels? I don't really have any plans to. Normally, when I rank music that's not on Monstercat, it's normally like from an artist I know or like, and I rank one of their albums or discogs. So that's normally what I do. What is your favorite Monstercat Silk song this year? Yeah, sorry, I don't really listen to Silk at all, so I don't have an answer. Are there any smaller EDM labels? Yeah, kind of already answered this. Sorry, bro. Oh, here we go. We got a lot of questions here. Do you have some big projects coming to this channel in the future? Will you be changing your style anytime, or you won't change anything and leave it as it is? Here's what I'll say. So number one, big projects. Normally in December, I have a bunch of like end of the year videos I like to do. So I guess those could be considered big projects. And of course, I'll be coming up with another top 100. I'm not going to do a whole top 150 or 200 this time. It'll just be a top 100 Monstercat songs in general video. And that'll probably be like January of 2023. And then will you be changing your style anytime? I might change it a bit. Now that I've done a face reveal, I might do like reactions to new songs sometimes here and there. Maybe do tier lists with the face cam on, stuff like that. But I would know one thing's for sure. I'll always do, the monthly Monstercat rankings and monthly submissions probably, unless something comes up or I'm too busy. So you can always count on that. Do the memories of times when you listen to a certain track influence the rank of the track? So I would say not really, unless like the first listening experience like blows me away and I can just remember like where I was, what I was doing for that song. The only other thing that comes into play is like nostalgia for listening to the song, maybe of the times, but I don't know how long it takes for nostalgia to set in. We could be talking like years in the past. If some other less popular rankers suggested to collab with you, would you agree? It's pretty rare I do collabs with other people just because I don't upload that often and I just like doing videos on my own. But every once in a while I'll do like a playlist exchange or maybe like a collab ranking. So, I'm open to it, but it's pretty rare, I'd say. Next, do you agree that music has gotten more mainstream and worse over the years? Not specifically about EDM. Yeah, for sure. Like all the pop music these days, I hardly like any of it. It's just like so commercialized and so basic, and it just kind of gets on my nerves that like they can't put any more effort into making popular music better. It's kind of annoying, and you hear it everywhere, so it gets old too. And then, do you have some favorite NCS tracks? I mean, here and there. If I look in my big playlist of like my favorite songs, there's probably some NCS tracks on there, but I can't really name any off the top of my head that well. Sorry. Spitfire Stonebake remix, it's not that bad. Sorry, man, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I did not like that song. Haven't heard it in a long time though. Maybe it grew a little bit. One question for you: what would be your favorite EDM label outside? Oh, I should have thrown this in with the other label questions. But you know what? I guess I'll say, NCS probably gets a lot of flack these days, but there are some good songs on there. Since I was just talking about NCS, I'll just say NCS because I don't really listen to or follow other labels. Going back to the Monstercat train, do you think the label is going to mainstream and needs more uniqueness and creativity? I mean, over the past year, I would definitely say yes, but I feel like just in the recent couple months, it's been getting better. Like they're signing more artists, specifically like the artists that came from NSD, and so we got more heavier stuff on Uncaged. I will say Instinct definitely has an issue with length of songs right now. Like so many songs this year have only been like 2.5 minutes, less than 3 minutes. It's kind of gotten old. So I'd say Instinct definitely needs some more creative flair, but Uncaged is definitely balling out. So next question. Do you have any songs on and off Monstercat that you associate memories with? Were they good or bad? Did some songs make you feel differently towards music as a whole? Like you started appreciating another genre or something like that? Oh my gosh, this is a little question, man. It's kind of hard to think about that, but I'll say this year in particular, Infected Mushroom, A Cookie from Space, definitely blew me away. Not at first, though. It took a few listens to really appreciate it, but like to have a song that's that long in that genre, Psytrance, really made me appreciate their music as a whole more. And, I went and listened to their Vicious Delicious album. So, what's your favorite Monstercat artist, past or present? So, I would say overall, it's probably Grant. He's just consistently great. But I would say recently, Bad Computer might have usurped him a little bit, just because he's been putting out banger after banger. So I'll just say tie between Grant and Bad Computer, my favorite. But I gotta give respect to World. going back in the past, World was my number one for a while. So, but he hasn't put out any music in a long time. If you don't count his Wishful Thinking 2018. So I just want World to come back, man. Number one, will there be a ranking for every artist on Monstercat? Now, I'm not sure if you mean like a single video where I rank like every artist from worst to best, or if you mean just doing discography for like eventually every artist on the label. Honestly, I have no idea because it would both of those would take forever. So I'm gonna say probably not. Number two, what's your favorite film and show? So, show I kind of answered earlier, Breaking Bad for sure. But once I see the final season of Better Call Saul, it might pass it. I don't know. In terms of favorite movie, I'm gonna say it's a tie between The Dark Knight and Inception. And coincidentally, they're both by Christopher Nolan, which isn't a coincidence at all because Christopher Nolan is the GOAT director. So yeah, those are my top two for sure. Next question, what do you look for in a new upcoming Monstercat artist? It's a pretty simple answer. Might be too simple, but I just look for a really good debut song because if they can come in and debut with a really strong song, that gives me hope that they'll follow that up. If they come in and it's a weak song, then I'm a little pessimistic about their chances. They can obviously improve and get better, but if they come in with a strong song, then that's what I'm looking for. What has been your favorite video to make / songs to rank? This one's pretty easy for me. I love making my top 100 Monstercat songs video. It's just really fun to revisit all my favorite songs and then narrow them down to only 100. It is a lot of hard work and very difficult, but it's definitely very rewarding. Next up, do you like making ranking submissions? I'd say for the most part, yes. The only reason I would say no is because you never know what you're going to get. Like last month, no offense to everyone involved, but like I found it to be a really weak month and I didn't enjoy many songs out of that month. So like it's always a gamble. I just hope you guys pull through and recommend some really good songs because most of the time you do. Next, what's your favorite and least favorite part of this YouTube channel? So least favorite would have to be just using an old 2015 Mac to edit my videos on iMovie. iMovie's not too bad, but just the fact that I use my old Mac and it's really slow sometimes, so it can take a while to edit, and I'll get to that later. But favorite would just be, the community we've built. You guys always leave a lot of good comments, and we have a lot of good dialogue there, so that's pretty fun. Next, have you ever considered commentating a ranking video? So I mean, like I've made some videos where like I speak in them, and especially now that I've face revealed, I might do some more like that. But like commentating a ranking video, I normally just, type out the text, and I don't think I would like talk during the video because I could find that annoying where like you're trying to hear what the music sounds like and then you just cut away from that and hear my voice. I don't think I would like doing that. But yeah. So how much does ranking, let's say 100 submissions take? So here's my process. I normally, I'll listen to all the songs first and then I'll screen record about 20-ish seconds of each song. And that can take a while. And then I have to order the songs like from like, if it's top 100, I got to order it all the way down from 100. So that's probably the hardest part. And then actually pulling all those screen recordings into the editor and then editing the video. I've gotten pretty good at it since I've done it so many times, so it doesn't take me too long. But about 100 songs, like that can definitely take some hours. I don't know if I'd do it all at once. Like when I made my top 100 or 150 Monstercat songs, I don't think I did those at once. I probably took like a few days to make those videos. Okay, here we go. Will you do a top 1,000 Monstercat songs video? Probably not, man. That would be way too difficult and that would take way too long. Plus, like my opinion changes a lot, so it's hard enough just to narrow it down to 100. So 1,000, yeah, I'm going to have to say no. I mean, this question could have tied into the other one. How long does it take to make one of your videos? So I would say like, let's take submissions, for example, 30 songs, and I don't really make any like audio, visual syncing edits in those. So that cuts down on the time. I would say, so editing, getting clips, text, all of it. I've never really timed myself. Maybe I will. But I feel like it can take a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, or less. It really depends, honestly. Plus, got to make the thumbnail and then actually upload it and type everything out. So, like I would say anywhere between like 1 to 3 hours. Oh, okay. This isn't really a question, but it says a video idea, top 10 songs of all time. That is a good video idea. I'm always open to video ideas. Sometimes if I see a good one, I'll write it down into the big list of ideas I have. That could definitely be one of them. I think I've done like I've done like top 13 movie themes of all time. I've done like my favorite songs before I got Spotify and discovered Monstercat and started this YouTube channel, stuff like that. So yeah. And the final question, what are your plans for the channel next? Anything special in mind? Like I said, I don't really like spoiling stuff, but you know, I'll still stick to rankings most of the time, I would say. I might branch out a little bit in terms of content. Like I might start doing like movie critiques or reviews, maybe some video game stuff if I start streaming and stuff like that. Maybe some like, more tier lists and stuff with the face cam if you guys like that. But, I'll always stick to rankings would probably be my number one thing on this channel. I mean, ranks is literally in my name. So yeah. And I can't believe we got through all those. Hopefully this video isn't too long. I'll be editing it. You guys already know the length just by clicking on the video. So yeah, thanks for 1,000 subs again, guys. And I would say this week, this is probably only my only video this week because, starting a new job, getting used to that. So, but I will still try to upload at least like twice a week if I can't, at least once. And if not even that, I'll always do the end of the month videos. So yeah, see you guys next time.